Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, January the 19th market update. So we had a pretty wild day in the market. It was a lot of a mixed picture. The Dow held up really well, and the Russell and the NASDAQ was getting beat up pretty bad. And so it was kind of a really mixed picture. So we had the dollar, silver, copper, and oil were all down today. Gold was actually up. And light sweet crude futures were down a whole 52 cents to settle at $90.86 a barrel. So looking at the dollar, pulled back a little much, but pulled back a little further here, breaking down below this low, but then it did come off of its lows, and so we'll see where it goes from here. Of course, there's no moving average support or anything here. Could have some support, right around this level here. We'll see if that's where it's going to stop or not, or if it's headed lower. All right, let's see. I'm not going to take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude Point and Figure chart because oil didn't move all that much. So let's start out with the Dow. Since the Dow did hold up the best, it was quite amazing actually. It was only down, a little over 12 points, down 0.11% at 11,825. So the Dow is, still holding at a 10-day, right? Here's the light blue is the 10-day moving average, still holding up. Just a little doji day, pretty much equal buying and selling. Take a look at the S&P. S&P still within its, this little trend up, right? This channel up, and it actually did get a little bit of a bounce off of its 10-day, so it's still holding the 10-day as well, at least for now. NASDAQ. Now NASDAQ did take a little bit of a beating here, down 1.46%, down 40 points to 27.25. But if you run a trend line across here in these lows, we actually closed, right around the 10-day moving average. And it actually held it at least for now. So, and it's holding that uptrend line for now. And then the Russell, they were really beating up the small caps today. Russell was the weakest, down 2.56%, down 20 points to 786. And it did it did break this uptrend, right? But it did stop at the 30-day. So this red line here is 30-day moving average. So we closed right around the 30-day moving average. So we'll see if it actually holds that or if we head lower. Of course, there was some earnings and stuff after the close, especially FFIV, the whole cloud computing space basically went up in smoke. So, and we'll look at a couple of those here shortly, but not good for the cloud computing. Most of them are down a whole lot in extended hours trading after the market closed. So volume was pretty high today. Actually, it started out pretty low in the morning, and I didn't really think much of the pullback because the volume was so light. But of course, as the day went on, especially into the afternoon, volume picked up. So volume was about 30 to 50% above average daily volume, especially on the IWM. Volume was very high. Volume was about 50% above average daily volume on the IWM. Of course, it did have, like I said, the biggest, and the Russell had the biggest move to the downside. So let's take a look at gold. GLD. It held up okay today. I mean, we're still holding so far around this level here, around this 132.50. We're holding up, all right. Finished the day up just slightly. Silver, it's pulled back a little bit. So far, it's still holding, and we bounced a little bit here at the 50-day moving average. Still holding the 50-day. See what it does tomorrow. Copper. Copper is definitely, the stochastic momentum has pointed back down again, and it's got some problems up here at 59. Looks like it's going to make a lower high here. So copper could weaken, but it is holding the 20-day, right? So here we got the green lines of 20, 20, so it kind of stopped right there. So we'll see where it goes from here. And Euro. FXE had a breakout here to the upside. This has been some resistance. So it had a nice move to the upside. Did pull back a little bit during the day, but still a break higher. Volatility definitely picked up today, up 9%. So looking at the VIX here, we've been holding this level down here back from 1217, right? We've held and held and held. So there seems to be quite a bit of support around this 1540 level on the VIX, and we'll see if we break it out and continue higher. And probably the S&P so far, the futures are holding up okay after the market closed. We'll see the NASDAQ's probably going to continue to get beating because of the FFIV carnage, which we'll take a look, which you can't really see the chart right now because this, I don't have it on here, but right now the FFIV after they reported, it is down 21.89% after hours on 4.2 million shares traded, right? And it only traded 7.3 million during the day today. So right now FFIV is at this, right around this 108 level, right? 108.39. Pull back here, somewhere around there. That's close enough. So it's pulled back all the way to here. And we have this in our long-term InvestSharp's portfolio, and I'm going to leave it in there. I'm not, I'll have to go through the earnings and stuff. But we already took half of our profits off of this. We got in it back in here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it was, but so we took off about half of the position when we were up about 40 some percent. So we are going to get, I think we bought it at 96, 98. So it's going to probably get an opportunity to possibly buy it again. I'll have to just see what the actual go through the report and see if it's worth continuing to own or if it needs to be dumped. So, and of course it the whole space, the Acme packet beat up after hours. And again, I'm sorry you can't see the after hours trading. It's over here to my to the left side over here, but it's down 6% right now. It's down around the 53 level. CRM's down 4.8%. Not on really high volume though, but it's back down to 134 in extended hours trading. What else? Riverbed's way down. I don't know. Pretty much anything that, even if they think it's associated with cloud computing, if it is or not, is down after hours. So Riverbed's down almost 10%. It's down to about the 33 level right here in extended hours. So we'll see how that all plays out tomorrow. Not looking too great for the start out of the NASDAQ tomorrow. Let's go look at the McClellan oscillator. So we're just now minus 21 the NYSE McClellan. We need to be down here much lower, minus 50, 60 level here to be oversold. So we're certainly not oversold yet. Let's take a look at the sectors. So all 16 sectors we follow finish in the red. Utility index held at the best because it was only down 0.13%. So, the defensive sectors held up better. Drugs were held up pretty well. Broker dealers were the weakest, down 2.8%, and home construction was real weak. Biotech, banks, etc., semis, all real weak. So over to chart watch. I think everyone needs to be careful here in general. So I wouldn't be in a big hurry, long or short. Just just kind of watch the charts and see how it goes. But have a few things. Held up pretty good today. Chesapeake Energy, a lot of the energy stocks still held up pretty well. CHK still held up well. SWN still holding up really, really well. RRC still holding up really, really well. This ACTG, not energy. We'll see what it does. It had a nice volume today. It looks like it wants to take out this prior high up here of 30.20. So if you are brave and want to go long here, it's actually went up to 30.30 today, or it went up to 30.30. So if it can take that out, you might want to try it long up here somewhere. But again, be careful right now with longs, because we are due for a pullback. I don't know how much if we're going to continue to pull back or not. If we're going to hold here, who knows? But Itron looks like it wants to break out. It's got some resistance around this 60 level, but it held up really well today. Looks like it wants to go higher. Caterpillar holding up really well, and it had this long consolidation lasted a month. Lots of buying here, lots of volume here when it broke out, and then not as much on the sell side today. So it's still holding about the midpoint of that candle. So still watching it. SLB still holding up pretty well, and Northrop Grumman is still holding its breakout from yesterday, so it's holding up really, really well as also. Raytheon still holding where it had broken out higher a couple of days ago, still looking good. So it wasn't a couple of days ago, it was Tuesday or last week or whatever. It was what broke out, yesterday. I have to think about what day it is. The holiday has me all messed up. EOG still holding up pretty well. We'll see where it goes from here. Should have support somewhere around that 100. We'll see if it holds it, if it does pull back. Then coals were real weak. BTU breaking down here from the trend line, right, where it had touched and went up, and it took out the 50. It does have a little support around here. It's trying to hold around this 60-ish level. We'll see where it goes from here, but a possible potential short for further downside. ANR, if it takes this trend line out, it's already sold off a lot, so I mean it could get a bounce here actually, but just keep an eye and see if it actually loses that uptrend line. Nucor, X has already got real beat up, but in the still space today. Nucor though, trying to hold the 30, and it's had these making these higher lows. So, but a lot of volume on the sell side coming in today. It may probably go ahead and break down here, so you might watch it for a possible short. CLF still holding up fine, but if it breaks around this 85-ish level or so, might be worth a quick short. I always encourage not hanging around on the short side or puts very long. And need to be in and out of them pretty quickly, a day or maybe 2 days or so, but typically don't hang on to shorts long. TCK, another one if it breaks this uptrend line, potential short possibly. McDonald's, if McDonald's can actually take out the downtrend line here and break to the upside, it has actually some buying today, and it's like I said, looking pretty good. DirecTV, holding the 42 level pretty well here, and not any selling really in it today either. Baxter still holding up well. Stryker still going and consolidating here, still holding up pretty well. Deere still holding up well. Some of the railroads still holding up well. CSX still holding the 10-day. UNP, Union Pacific, still holding its 10-day, holding up well. Focus Media, FMCN, actually breaking higher today. And got too many things here. So I like how this kind of rounded bottom here, and it seems like it wants to break out and go higher. So you might want to keep it up. I'm ready for a long side. Republic Services had the breakout yesterday above the downtrend line and went a little bit higher today, so it's looking really good. And BCR, and remember to watch for earnings on all these. I mean, they could be tomorrow or whenever, so you just may always check earnings. Obviously, you always should do that before you trade anything. So when we're in earnings season, BCR holding up really well here. So economic data tomorrow. We're going to start off with the weekly jobless claims at 8:30. Then we're going to get the monthly existing home sales and the Philly Fed survey both at 10 a.m. Then the weekly nat gas report at 10:30. Then the petroleum status report at 11. And of course, that's all in Eastern time. So we have quite a bit of data out tomorrow. So no change in the market signals, so there's really no need to look at them. I mean, obviously we're still on a buy and everything. We haven't moved all that much. It just looked and felt painful if you're on the long side. All right, so that is it for today. Thanks for watching.